This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
I hear a lot from people that there are days where it's hard to read a single news story. Forget actually being caught up. But I host a podcast that can fix that. It's called The 7. 7 stories every weekday by 7 a.m. Eastern. And here's the other thing. It's short, less than 10 minutes, in fact. I'm Hannah Jewell. The 7 podcast will turn around your morning and get you caught up. Check it out and follow The 7 wherever you listen to podcasts.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero. Is it in you?
And the fan.
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we are bringing them out to you all summer long. Can grab yours at KFAN events throughout the summer and wherever you see our KFAN street team to make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. See a full list of events at KFAN.com. Just make the keyword calendar.
All right, Zachary, fire one ready.
This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey, presented by the St. Paul Saints.
Hawk will be back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
This is Zach Halverson in for Chris Hockey. Good morning. Welcome to the news. The news is brought to you by the St. Paul Saints, who have been enjoying their break, but they'll be back in action at some point. Make it Friday, tomorrow night. Make that Friday night. It's only Wednesday. Great start to the news.
Holy bleep, it's only Wednesday.
Great. One of his best bits. HSIOW. Such a great bit.
They'll take the Bats on in Louisville at 6:15, but they'll be back in action next week at
I think our guy Crease.
Go get them, Saints.
July 22nd on Tuesday. They'll be back at CHS Field, which is a beautiful place with fireworks and fun.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes fireworks. All right. The man accused of shooting 4 Minnesota lawmakers in the middle of the night, killing 2, is now charged with capital murder. A federal grand jury has indicted Vance Belter for stalking and killing State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and injuring Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. The Hoffmans were shot multiple times but survived. Prosecutors say they are certain Belter was acting alone and say his motive was political extremism. They say Belter confessed but claims unnamed people threatened to hurt his family if he didn't shoot the lawmakers. Prosecutors say Belter could face the death penalty. As a capital murder case, that decision would be up to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Because I always watch Twin Cities Live because I like Ben and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
It's my background noise right at 3 o'clock when I'm getting other stuff done.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was just waiting for the World Series of Poker main event to start at 5. I'm like, I'll watch Twin Cities Live until then. Well, they started with this, right? It wasn't Twin Cities Live until like 3, almost 3:30, because they started with the Channel 5 breaking in of the press conference of the indictment. I forget the guy's name. Whoever ran that press conference yesterday, Zachary, were you watching it or did you see the highlights? Shout out to that guy because he said everything with his eyes and his face. Yeah. When he was going through the handwritten letter that the guy had and some of the statements that he was making about things like, well, I was forced to kill these people, otherwise people were going to hurt me. And I showed up at this place and I had to kill some people because they were going to kill me. Like, everything that this guy was saying, you could tell was absolute insanity and delusion. Yeah. He's not attached to reality. But the guy that was doing the press conference, when he was explaining the situation, had just the slightest grin on his face. Like, I'm going to say this like this is fact, but we all know this guy's loony bins.
Yeah.
So the only thing that sucks is there were a couple things the guy said explaining the situation. I'm like, well, that is a soundbite for insane people to run with conspiracy theories. If they see it in print and they don't know the tone, it's going to be like, did you hear this? Well, it's the voice of a crazy person, though. Yeah. It's not reality.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I heard. Oh, God.
I don't think reality matters anymore.
Right. So there were a couple of those moments, but the guy's just slight grin like this.
Well, I think I know who you're talking about now. Mm-hmm. He always has a slight grin.
Does he really?
I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's probably very good at his job, but he's got like a very when he was doing the initial press conference before, like they just announcing the details, like he had that grin too. So it's just kind of a
that might just be his face, but I just read between the lines that he was trying to tell us this guy's crazy without just coming out and going, all right, so this guy's nuts. So he just had to subtly kind of exude that. But Paul, your hands up.
With capital charges, will he get the death sentence?
It just sounds like it's possible. It's on the table. But
that decision will be up to the Attorney General.
And it sounds like that could take months. Yeah. So it's
and who knows who the AG will be by then.
Well, he should. He should get the death penalty.
He definitely should.
He should get the death penalty.
This is the exact kind of a person that they have it for.
You shouldn't have to wait that long either.
Yeah. Get him to the express
Correct.
lane.
Yep. The only other thing that I think is interesting is in the press conference yesterday, they did say that the actual motive, though, is still a little unclear, outside of what you just said, Zach, that he claims he was forced to do this, that he was threatened that if you don't do this, we're going to hurt you and your family and this. Again, that's BS. But anyway, but they basically said beyond that, they haven't really gotten it out of him.
Wow.
Political extremism, but that's the end of the road so far. So obviously the part that he's acting alone or that they are convinced now there's no evidence that anybody else was involved is important. All on him.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is the worst important part.
See you later, buddy.
Minneapolis is revealing the initial locations for speed cameras as part of a new city pilot. Installed in September, the cameras will be at Nicollet Avenue South near 46th Street West, Chicago Avenue South near Franklin Avenue East, and 3rd Street North near 1st Avenue North. The other two locations will be at 18th Avenue Northeast near Central Avenue Northeast, and another one by Fremont and Broadway. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry said in a statement the cameras will make it clear that speeding and reckless driving will not be tolerated.
You know what sucks about this is like if I owned a store and I could have cameras that could catch shoplifting, even if I don't, they could catch it and they could somehow report to the authorities like Paul Lambert was stealing tampons out of the back of my store.
Why was I doing that?
I don't know what you do. I don't ask questions. But if a set of cameras could self-report and go, boom, shoplifting, roasted, got you, I'd go, that's a great thing. He broke the law. He should pay the price. Speeding ain't that.
No.
It sucks because I played cards in Iowa I don't know. I don't remember if this was pre or post pandemic. It doesn't matter.
Iowa sucks.
I drive to the east side of Iowa.
I've got a ticket.
I drive back, and then like a week later, I get a ticket in the mail. I'm like, a ticket? Well, apparently, I don't remember which town it was. Maybe it was, I don't know. Is it Des Moines? I don't know what town
it was. Who cares? It's Iowa.
Right, it doesn't matter. I drove through a town. Apparently, there was a speed cameras that I wasn't familiar with, and they caught me going like 8 miles an hour over.
What?
And I got a ticket. Oh, yeah. Technically 1 mile over.
They pulled Abbott over. Abbott.
Yep.
He probably wasn't even going over the speed.
Yeah, but that's at least a cop going, all right, I saw you speeding.
Correct,
You're 8, 9, 10 miles an hour over.
He was 3.
This is just, okay, that's ridiculous. But this is a camera just going, you're speeding, no debating it, you get a ticket. I'm like, this is a joke. I wasn't going 30 over. Everybody goes 5, 6, 7, 8 over the limit. Come on, man.
They're just trying to keep people in their state as long as possible because
you should have to be caught in the act of speeding.
Well, they would argue by cameras that's exactly what you're doing.
That should not count.
But
that's stupid.
There should be a little bit like there's the little discretion here, which you kind of like because if you could do like, hey, look, I'm running late for work. I'm sure everybody uses those excuses, but whatever valid excuses a cop that would typically be like, yeah, you know what, understanding, I get it. We'll let you out with a warning. There's no correct. It's just black and white. There's no gray area there.
But everybody with common sense, everybody with a brain knows if you're driving in a 55, the safety level of me driving 55 or 61 is identical.
Yes.
Yes.
If I'm going 77 in a 55, you could say that's not necessarily safe for this part of the road or whatever.
Yeah.
Totally.
People aren't ready for that. I get it.
You are just as likely to be dangerous at 60 and 55. It's the same speed.
And I'd argue 45 is more dangerous than 61 and a 51 or 55.
You could argue that.
Amen.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Amen.
Amen, brother. Let's all pray together.
Yes, let's go.
And also with
now that you're back on board.
God, we are solving the world's problems.
Well, while we're talking speeding, Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison is back in court Thursday, not for speeding like he did up here, but he is in court Thursday in Los Angeles for drunk driving. Addison appeared in court yesterday and is back Thursday morning for a pre-trial hearing. He was arrested last summer when California Highway Patrol found him asleep at the wheel of a Rolls Royce while also blocking lanes of traffic. Addison pleaded not guilty in December to driving under the influence and driving with a 0.8% alcohol level. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Addison could face a 3-game suspension if he is convicted.
Why am I misremembering this? Why did I think it was just weed and not alcohol?
Yeah, I don't remember the alcohol part.
I don't either. I thought that there was an alcohol.
Maybe they kept that a little on the down low and tried to get that Coba by before, and then it came.
So I guess it means 0.08.
Yeah, not 0.8. I was thinking
0.8 is
lethal.
He'd be dead.
He'd be dead.
Right. So 0.08, that's right. Obviously, that's actual limits.
That's literally right on the line, yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
So he's probably going to get suspended for 3 games, right? Mm-hmm. That's weird because, we're the rookies report on Sunday, and I think the vets report on Tuesday, but, that's a huge chunk. I don't mean to go Vikings news at 7:17 in the morning, but, you possibly could be without your left tackle. You could possibly, maybe, be without Will Fries. We haven't heard how he hasn't really practiced much. And you might be out from Jordan Addison on your offense. And you're going to play on Monday night in Chicago. That's a tough sled for your first ever NFL game. Not that the kid can't handle it, but that's going to be tough, man. Especially without that left tackle.
See what he can do.
Yeah, but Jordan Addison, for some of the dumb things he's done, he's a really good football player. Yeah. I'm not excusing it, but he's a good he doesn't get the recognition he should because of Justin Jefferson. He's a great football player.
I just wonder if they're tired of his garbage, though.
Well, I was shocked that they didn't trade him. I thought they were going to trade him at the draft, but
because of the off the field stuff.
Well, I don't think they're going to sign him. Right? I think
because you don't want to give a guy like that much money because you don't know if you can trust him long term.
I think they might. Yeah. If this thing doesn't go right, you might be somebody they ship out at the trade deadline. But yeah, I thought they'd trade him for sure.
Does he work well with clients, stakeholders, and Cola-goers?
Probably, yeah. Maybe not. And I'm not smart.
Don't say
baby.
that.
Thank you, Zachus. Thank you, Corliss.
When it got to the point where it's how smart are you? Did you say meets the standard for excellence?
I wrote 0.
Oh, that was a mistake, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. No.
If you weren't actually smart, you wouldn't be smart. You wouldn't be smart enough to know you're not smart.
Well said, Zachus.
Yeah, self-awareness is part of intelligence.
Amen.
Well said.
We are defending a guy who read the word colleagues as Cola-goers.
Yeah, but it was put on 2 different. It wasn't all one word. It looked like it was 2 words.
Not helping your case.
No, it's not.
Sauce will show us how smart he is when he does sports after this. Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.
I hear a lot from people that there are days where it's hard to read a single news story. Forget actually being caught up. But I host a podcast that can fix that. It's called The 7. 7 stories every weekday by 7 a.m. Eastern. And here's the other thing. It's short, less than 10 minutes, in fact. I'm Hannah Jewell. The 7 podcast will turn around your morning and get you caught up. Check it out and follow The 7 wherever you listen to podcasts.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with 0 sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero. Is it in you?
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
All right, we golf bet at 8 because the British starts right after midnight tonight. So we have a list of about 14 people, even Chris Hockey via the old StreamYard. Our buddy Chad Daniels, Cy Amundsen's going to be a part of it. Alec Lewis,
who should be
in it for the first time as well. So we got a new group. We got a handful of new ones. Whole bunch of people, of course, like Mus and Marnie and everybody joining as well, and Johnny Bones. That'll be at 8 o'clock. You'll see that on the old KFAN.com/watch.
That'll
but
be
for
fun.
now,
Can't
sauce with sports.
There you go.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around, your TimberTech deck building contractor.
The MLB All-Star Game ended in a home run swing-off, and the NL won 4-3 because Kyle Schwarber was 3 for 3 for home runs or something. The actual game ended in a 6-6 tie. Our guy Buxton doubled and scored a run in his one appearance in the game. Joe Ryan went 3 up, 3 down in his inning. He struck out 2 guys. I don't remember what the other one was because I didn't watch it. But so the All-Star game's over, which means we're that much closer to football season. And your Minnesota Twins are off until Friday when they battle the Colorado Rockies in Colorado at 7:40.
Zach, help me out with this for a second.
You got it.
The stat that I mentioned earlier that I think is interesting. Kyle Schwarber in the actual game went 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah.
But he was named MVP because he hit 3 home runs in the swing-off tiebreaker, right?
Sure.
How often, when they give out the 3 stars of the game for an NHL game, how often is the number 1 star of the game the person who has the game-winning goal in a shootout?
I mean, I can't think of a time.
Ever?
I mean, there maybe was, like, if it was like a 0-0 game or even a 1-0 game or whatever, and then like the person was the only person. But even then, I doubt that they would ever give the number 1 star
to the person who scores one shootout
chance.
goal.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
He's MVP. First position player ever to win an MVP without recording a hit. 0 for 2 with a walk, but he launched 3 home runs in the tiebreaker.
We were talking in the NHL there, so I was a little late.
I was just saying it would be like the equivalent of somebody scoring in a shootout, but then being named the first star of the game.
That's happened.
It has happened.
Yeah.
Okay. That seems a little weird, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's uncommon. I mean, because typically those are like 1-0 games or,
Right.
1 games or it's low scoring games, obviously. So somebody didn't have a big night during the game. And usually, typically those will go to the goalie to get the first star. But yeah, it has happened.
Fair enough.
The Minnesota Lynx battle the Mercury today at noon. Your Lynx are 19-4, and they are 10.5-point favorites.
Well,
damn, 10.5?
Yeah.
That's
Mercury's second best record in the NBA. Are they missing people?
Well, let me double check.
That's a big spread for a good team.
It may have been 1.5.
And the super spreader would know what a big spread is.
Yeah. We talking about Hawk's sister?
Damn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're 10.5-point favorites today.
That's cool.
I almost just said, do you want action? But yesterday I said, I got to stop betting on things that I'm not going to watch. Because I gotta feel something. I gotta get enjoyment out of it and not just hand you money.
What are you going to do at noon today?
Yeah, right.
Watch it. Go to the game. Hang out with Marnes.
I'm going to still be napping at noon. Then I'm going to get up and get some stuff done. And then the Final Four of the World Series of Poker starts at 5. I'm I'm going to watch Michael the Grinder Mizrachi knock this one out of the park because he trucked the entire table yesterday. And we'll call it a day.
Well, good for you. It's something you like. I'm
It's the
happy
best.
for you.
He put on a clinic yesterday, man.
Right.
Once he got those chips, it was over.
Like, I'm ripping you, but if I
You're going to do the same thing the next 4 days.
If I get a golfer that plays at 3:30 in the morning, I might get up and sit here and watch it.
Yep.
As long as he's on TV. If he's part of a feature group, I will. If he's just randomly on TV, I won't.
Can't you watch it at home?
Well, yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but
Yeah, why would you come in early?
that's a
And then
good point.
You could leave because it's only you only live here 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
So by the time he walks from the tee to his next shot, you'd be here.
You know what I should do?
What's that?
Is I should get up,
Okay.
go downstairs, put the Xbox on, and then on my other TV, put the golf on. Because I haven't gone back to that game since Saturday night.
You're done.
It's too hard.
It's over for you.
What a waste of money. You and I just had a nice conversation about how I'm done wasting money. What a waste of money that video game was. I'll probably still play it. I just don't like to play it
Do you think if you get play it more and get better at it that you will be able to compete?
But I've been playing Madden for 30 years. I'm good at Madden. It's just I'm not good at that game.
Yeah, and whoever wants a new challenge?
Yeah, not me. That's effort.
Again, you would be the first person to die at base camp.
I mean,
He'd have to get to base camp first.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a long flight. I'd be bored.
And I'd say that because I wouldn't want to go to base camp either.
Thank you, Zachus.
Because I think you got to walk there.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it takes effort to get to base camp.
The Open Championship starts tomorrow. Maybe about, a little hours from now.
Hours.
We bet on it today at 8 a.m., so we bet on it in about 29 minutes. I'm not smart.
Cole Agurs.
The Vikings rookies report to camp on Sunday, then the vets report on Tuesday. Sauce Gardner has agreed to terms on a brand new deal. He's the highest paid cornerback. It's a 4-year, $120.4 million deal.
It's like $1 an hour.
That's $30.1 million a year.
It's like $1 an hour.
Sir.
Yeah. Do you think the NHL will get to $20, $25 million a year contracts?
Yeah, sure. Eventually it will.
Maybe not.
Just, we'll never catch, the other big sports like NBA, NFL, MLB. Their TV contracts are enormous. We'll never see the contracts that they get. But yeah, eventually we'll get there.
Inflation.
Yep.
Hey, I wonder if the rest of the NFL is pissed at the Jets because
Benny and the Jets?
Because they are paying Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner after year 3.
Yeah, it's a good point, Corliss.
I wonder if they're saying, hey, guys, can we slow down on these after year 3 extensions? Can you wait until after year 4, please?
Yeah.
Unwritten code in the...
Yeah, one of those collusion, non-collusion things where it's an unwritten rule that we just don't dump the money truck at the feet of people that have played 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And I stopped caring. Okay. But I did care for 6 seconds.
Oh, wow. That's good of you,
I was curious.
That's
and then
very good of you.
Now I'm over it.
The players appreciate that, Corey.
Trey Smith, the guard all Vikings fans wanted, signing a 4-year, $94 million extension with the Chiefs. $70 million of it is guaranteed. He is now the highest paid guard in football because for about 4 months, Will Fries, I think, was the highest paid guard in football.
I got a cool stat for you related to Trey Smith.
Okay.
You just said he's the highest paid guard ever. Technically now he's the highest paid interior lineman in NFL history with $70 million guaranteed. He's 26 years old. So he was the last player that was still on the franchise tag because T. Higgins got tagged earlier and got signed. Now Trey Smith got tagged and got signed. So this is kind of weird. This will be the first season since blank that no players will play this season on a franchise tag. No one's going to be on the tag this year.
Can I make this is just an educated guess, okay? Maybe I'm wrong.
Is this the first year? Is that a trick question?
93.
Was it? I mean, it's so the last time somebody didn't play on a franchise tag is the question you're asking. Yeah, I would guess maybe this is the first year.
First time since 2015, we have nobody that will go through the season on the tag.
Wow. Good question.
Yeah. Stumped us.
Bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre. You get it, Pat.
I didn't say it was like an earth-shattering stat. It's just somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
First time in a decade.
Yeah.
We didn't say we were good at trivia.
Fair.
Yeah, correct. That's about all I got.
What about the WSOP?
I don't care about that. You can do that part.
Yeah, do it, Core.
Can you not play your song anymore?
No. I don't think I can.
That's a great song.
Yeah, so we
I
had the
don't think
first
that's it.
female in 30 years to make the final table. She went out 7th. The biggest name at the final table is the one that is going to win today. He has all of the chips. The Grinder. If you've watched poker at all in the last 20 years, he's been on TV a billion times. He got super lucky in a giant hand, and once he got all the chips, it was an absolute clinic, and now he is a dominant chip leader with 4 to go. So 5 o'clock today, they wrap this up. And Zach, you were watching when I was watching. Jeff Platt, who's going to be on this show in 2 days.
Oh, sweet.
Jeff Platt was interviewing him after they had stopped play with 4 to go. And he has a dominant chip lead. He is asked by Jeff, what's it going to take tomorrow to wrap this thing up? And of course, Jeff was asking strategically, what is this going to take to wrap this up tomorrow? And the Grinder goes, about an hour.
Oh,
wow.
I love that answer.
And then laughed. But it's a badass answer, but it's also probably accurate. I think he just steamrolls him today and takes it down.
And when
The gamesmanship has begun. He was already putting it in their mind.
Yep. He's going to win. It's $10 million for first.
So let me ask
Think
you.
about that, by the way, for a second. Doesn't the winner of the British Open get like $3 million?
Yeah, I would bet. Yeah, 3 or
3
4
million.
Yeah.
I think all 4 of the players remaining in the main event of the World Series get more than $3 million.
Let me ask you a question that may be above your pay grade, and maybe you don't understand the question I'm asking.
There's a good chance that's going to be the case.
Well, that's fine, but at least you admit it. That guy will win $10 million, right?
Probably. Like an 85% chance he closes this thing out.
If you have guys like that are like professional gamblers, and that's what they do, don't you have property in Nevada for tax purposes?
Oh, he lives in Nevada.
For that reason, right? Because there's no income tax in Nevada, right?
Well, you still pay federal tax.
I get that, but if you'd won that and you would pay income tax on it, right? Because you live in Minnesota.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd save money if you lived the 6 months and 1 day in Nevada, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but again, you get really caught up on that when we talk about sports contracts too. Definitely, it matters. You're saving money. Like the somebody posted this on Twitter. I don't know if
Sauce Gardner bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's accurate or not, but they broke down that out of the $30 million a year, he's really only going to clear 13 or 14 million.
Yeah.
That the rest of it is, hey, Alec Lewis might be able to answer this.
Yes.
Alex, sit down, because we got a quick question for you here. I'll see if this is the correct answer. But they broke down Sauce Gardner's money, right? And it was about $30 million a year. But after this, and after that, and after this, and after that, he actually walks with like 13 or 14 a year. But one of the things was New York taxes, like state tax, he loses about $3 million because everybody's got to pay federal income tax. So I'm not saying $3 million is nothing, but it's not the big chunk that everybody loses, regardless of where they live, is the federal.
Yes,
cut.
correct.
Is that approximately correct, Alec?
That sounds right. Yeah, I'm not a tax expert.
Yeah,
I have it right here. Well,
I know that I played in Florida where there was no state tax. And yeah, it matters. Not quite as much anymore because now since the whole Mike Tyson incident with the tickets,
the what? What was that word?
No, tickets.
It's fun when you're missing teeth.
Tickets,
sort of.
You sound like Mike Tyson right now.
Mike Tyson.
So hang on, Mike Tyson or Mike Tyson?
That's what I thought he was going to say. I was like, I just read a Mike Tyson book. I was pumped.
Can you say the boxer's name just for fun?
Mike Tyson.
Oh my gosh!
For those of you just tuning in, Parrish doesn't have his 2 front teeth.
He's missing his 2 front teeth, and it's been a great morning for us.
Yeah.
I will say those contracts, it is so silly when you see on social media and it's like Sauce Gardner, $30 million a year or $150 million. It's really like $40 million, but the agents do such a good job of framing that in their best interest.
Here it is. Sauce Gardner
and the teams.
And it says only, but only is a loose word.
It's a relative term.
It's still a ton, right? He's going to make $14 million after signing, the $30 million guarantee, right? This is what he makes a year. Federal income tax is $11.09 million. Mm-hmm. New Jersey state tax is $3.24. FICA is $600,070.
SPA would say that's fairness in conversation.
Correct. Jock tax, $450,000.
That's based on how big his jock is.
Well, I don't pay anything.
You'd be tax free.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Agent fee is 3%. So he makes the agent makes $903,000. So it's total tax of $13.75 million.
Income, you mean?
Well, what about the money?
I was going to say, regardless of where you are with state tax, the federal, it's usually about 50%.
Yeah, but it's
you're making that, and then again, when you talk about the state tax, though, and teams will use that as an argument and sometimes make up for it here and there, but for the most part, when it comes to the taxes, these states have figured it out. So you're paying like in the NHL 1/82nd, so they break it down into 80 your games, right? Is your payments. So they break however much you're making down into 1/82nd, right? Or 84th, soon to be coming up. And you're going to have to pay taxes on that in every state, depending on how many games you play in that state, depending, again, if they have state tax.
So, again, another tax question. Maybe you guys don't know. Let's say you get a $70 million signing. Let's just say 50 for math purposes. You get a $50 million signing bonus. You get that right away. If your main residence, I know you pay federal tax, but if you have a residence in Florida or Tennessee, you wouldn't pay income tax on that, correct?
Correct. That's what I did in Florida.
Correct. That's
I literally
right.
Not to throw him under the bus, but a friend of mine was one of the district attorneys down in Broward County, down in Florida, and literally as soon as I signed, it was like, get on a flight, bring a duffel bag full of clothes down here, and throw it in my guest room. You can use my address as your residency.
That's tax fraud.
Again, you didn't hear the district attorney part.
So anyway, Wesley Snipes, what were you doing back in Florida?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, just for fun, can you say that?
Cabby.
Can you say the name Wesley Snipes, please?
You son. Wesley Snipes.
Y'all told the story about what happened, right?
Yeah. So all of these are fake. There's not a tooth in here that's real anymore after a hockey career. And maybe a little bit of bad teeth care. A little bit of a sauce routine when I was younger. Let's just say that. Anyway, so I got them all fixed a couple of years ago now, and there was just a little wiggle. So because my front two teeth have been replaced and they got knocked out, one of them 7 times and the other one right around the same. And the implant that they gave me in New York on my right front tooth was the wrong implant. It wasn't done right, and so there's nothing they can do about it. They took it out. Is all they could do. They can't put another implant in there. So all they could do is put a good implant in the left one, and so both teeth are connected to kind of one hole, one rod there, whatever the heck you want to call it. Yeah. And God, I love how much it turns you on, Sauce.
So how many rods are in your mouth?
Oh, zip it, Zach.
The minimum.
Down, boy. And it wiggled just a little bit when I first got it. Well, not a ton, but it was enough where I noticed it, and I just kind of have to push it back a little bit when I was eating. And I let the dentist know, and they're like, well, come back in if it ever starts bothering you. So I noticed it started wiggling a little bit more recently. So I meant to get back in, and Friday or Saturday night, I had a double cheeseburger with bacon, and I bit into it, and I felt my front teeth fold right up into my gum.
It was cray-cray.
Yeah, CPAP was.
And now it's an absolute delight.
Yeah, now it's the best.
We'll do Vikings news in a second. Alec Lewis is here. He's going to be a part of the golf bet. That'll be fun. Mark Parrish is here. Carly Zucker is going to be here in a minute or two as well. Then the digital room will fill up at 8 o'clock when we start golf betting. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
When I listen to the news, here's what I want to know. Why this story matters, who's at the center of it, and how the reporters uncovered it. And as a journalist, I want to make sure that's what you get too. I'm Elahe Izadi, co-host of the podcast Post Reports. Every weekday, my colleagues and I at the Washington Post give you the context you need on the biggest stories: healthcare, tariffs, artificial intelligence. We've got you covered. Look for Post Reports wherever you listen to podcasts.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
She sleeps alone tonight in a brand new bed, hoping your dreams come true. And he sleeps alone tonight in a strange old bed, wishing he were with you.
All right, welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. This voice, Chris, will be back tomorrow. And don't forget, tomorrow, 8 o'clock hour, the 2025 Initials Invitational, the bracket reveal. We got a whole bunch of new people. I tried to turn it over as much as possible. Remember how last year we said, like, if you got 2, you guaranteed a spot. If you got 1, you're eligible but not guaranteed. And if you got 0, you're automatically out.
Right.
Let's just say there might even be somebody in this room that I have on my list for future years because I want the turnover from now on to be as significant as possible.
So you want me out?
Well, no offense to the 45 people that made this year's tournament, but like, I would like about half of them to be back next year and about half to be brand new. But I think, I'll have to double check, I think we have 10 or 11 debuts.
Oh. Well,
and I wanted it to be more, but too many people made the minimum.
Yeah.
So I want as many shutouts as possible, and I want a whole bunch of people to get just 1. And then those people are in big trouble next year because I want like 15 to 20 debuts next year.
Well, there's a few people, if they get 1, they'll automatically be back in.
Well, I'd get fired if I don't have a couple of them in.
Yeah, right. If I get 1, I'm out.
How great would that be?
It'd be great.
Well, I still think it would be great. I still think it would be great if you, Hawk, Marnie, or Parrish got shut out.
Oh, it'd be great.
Because then you are eliminated from next year's tournament.
It would be an excellent bit, especially if it was me.
So let's just say this before we get into Vikings
news.
Right,
Alec?
With Alec. Yeah, get in. People want to see you on the camera.
I don't.
Somebody does.
I really don't think they do. Every time Abbott will walk in here, we're going to do this part on camera. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially with PA. You can put him on camera? Yeah.
That's always dangerous to have PA on camera.
Right, and you don't know if the cameras are they rolling in between the segments? Because if they are,
but the audio is not.
That's beneficial for everybody who has any stock into this station.
Yep.
Probably.
So you can make out with people if you want. Right. Just don't say anything. Look, Sauce, you're going to think this is rigged. You're going to think this is a conspiracy.
Sure.
but I'm going to promise you before we reveal the bracket tomorrow at 8.
Yeah, man.
I actually think this benefited you, but the matchups aren't super balanced this year. There's a couple of matchups that are unbalanced because of scheduling. It was the hardest schedule in the handful of years we've done the tournament. There were just people that just couldn't move because they were like, this is the only date that works for me. So scheduling 45 people who are busy to do initials was not easy this year. I'm not complaining. It's first world problems. It just took me way longer than normal.
Yeah.
Point is I seeded everybody 1 through 45, but the matchups don't break out completely evenly. But ultimately, if you're going to win the whole thing, you're going to have to get through everybody anyway. So no complaints, right? I would argue your matchup is not one you're going to complain about. But other people might say, I got screwed. This matchup's loaded. This isn't fair. But just so you know, you're not one of those people.
Well, that's kind of you.
I didn't do that on purpose.
No, I know.
It would have been way funnier if your matchup was just loaded and rigged.
Yeah, AJ, Marnie.
Right.
Yeah, Moyer Lambert.
Swedberg. I look at Sauce's matchup before I look at mine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, which is fine.
So the reveal will be tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and then the tournament starts Friday.
Is O'Connell in the tournament?
How sweet would that be? I guess you'll have to tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock and find out. I can promise you he probably wants to be in the tournament. Whether or not he actually made it or is available is a completely separate issue. Yeah. Good morning, Carly.
Good morning.
Carly, do you know Alec Lewis, Carly Zucker, Carly Zucker, Alec Lewis?
Never met.
So good
Great to meet you.
Alec follows the Vikings for a career. Pretty good gig, right? You're right about football and stuff.
I mean,
not a bad gig.
I love the Vikings,
You
but
sure do.
it's also a tough gig. That's a tough gig.
There's some pros and cons, right?
It's not that tough. I mean, you just kind of watch football. It's really stand on the practice field for 2 hours and act like you know what you're saying.
Yeah, a few more wins, though, would be nice.
That's
a few more
that would be
too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. The wins, I don't know. Is this the Vikings segment of the show?
Sure, Vikings news.
There it is. Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Redco, your truck accessories.
All right, but let me ask this, because I don't know if I've asked you this in the past when you've been on this show or even in the halls when we run into each other, Alec, in the past. Not you, Paul. I know you. Look, sometimes this rubs people the wrong way, but this is just the way the world works, I think. When I started this job, I freaking loved sports, right? I was all in. I was 22, loved sports. I definitely still love sports in spurts, right? There are moments that kind of catch me off guard, like the Minneapolis Miracle. I'm like, God dang, this is still fun. Sports can still be fun.
Amen.
But in general, my love of sports has faded over the years because this became a job. I love the job. It's super cool, but like it does become routine and the magic starts to fade a little bit. Has following the Vikings or being paid to follow a professional football team enhanced or decreased your love of the game of football?
Oh, good question.
Or you don't know yet?
Such a good question. I think I try to tell, and when I have conversations and people ask similar questions to this, I try to tell people like, you know, I'm not as into it, but I really do think it's enhanced it probably because I understand the dynamics maybe more. And I just, that's the lens I view. I try to like just keep the kid loving sports attitude that I've always had.
How long have you been doing this though?
I've covered professional sports since 2019. So, I mean,
so
it's been
pretty early.
Yeah, there's no question. And I will say, you get to a Tuesday training camp practice story, and the editor's like, how JJ look, and you saw him throw 4 passes. You didn't really, and I mean, it can be, you can lose a little bit of the luster. But I really, for me, and this is how it's become, it's like the stories about the people who are like I was having a conversation yesterday with one of Will Fry's former coaches for like 45 minutes, and we're talking about how like certain aspects of Will Fry's career and offensive line play, and I'm learning stuff I've never heard. I still love that. There's no question.
I would argue that you're going to do better at your job the longer you hold on to that, right? Because then you're excited to ask those questions and dive in.
But you also, over time, see things and hear. I say, like, there are certain people in this league that I'll talk to, and they say all the time, like, if the fan knew some of what goes on in this league and how decisions are made, like, they would be out of their mind probably. So you hear and see some of how the sausage gets made that almost at times kind of takes the luster of it off.
The business of sports is not always pretty.
Yeah, no.
And I would argue, Corey, you always had a negative attitude.
Not true. Absolutely not true.
I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. I love you.
No, but I still love radio, right?
Yes,
but the sports part of it has just faded, just because again, and it's also like part of life, right? Got the wife, got the kids. Like my interests have changed into other things. I don't necessarily look down on people that like sports, because I was there. I understand it. I get it. I've faded because this has become a job.
Stop doing drugs.
Go ahead.
No, the games run together. I was in Chicago this weekend. I had a buddy ask me similar questions, and he was like, "Which story from last year do you remember the most?" And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, I can't remember one thing I wrote after any game.
It's a blur, right?
They all blend together. But the Cam Bynum and how he developed the career that he developed, like that sticks with you. And talking to his parents and all that stuff, that you remember that stuff. So that's kind of, and I'm with you too, where you talk about like radio and loving the radio part of it. I do think like the structure of the writing, how do I thread this story? Like that has become.
You still love that part of it too?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Like I'm reading stories. How do I get better at framing dialogue? Like, that's the craft of it is a challenge.
And so hang on, how long have you covered the Vikings specifically?
22.
Was that KOC's first year?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Because I was just going to say, it also depends on the people you work with, right? Let's say, and he's not going to, he's the coach of the year. Let's say KOC got fired today and Zimmer was back, right? My guess is you might not love your job as much starting tomorrow, right? So all of those things factor into, and then that might be your reminder that, oh, this isn't Disneyland, this is a job.
Absolutely. And it's not just KOC, it's like you guys have had Brian O'Neill in here. How great of a dude is
amazing, man.
Like you got Andrew DePaula, like just amazing guy.
Cam Bynum, Metellus, Bernard's the best.
So we're dealing with, and I like never take that for granted. I talk to people all around the league all the time, and even the PR staff. Like, yes, it's beneficial for me to say this on the radio, but like those Jeff Anderson and Sam Newton and that crew,
they're all the best.
They make the job so much more fun, and I tell them that, and hopefully that helps me get interviews with people.
Yeah, and again, we had 20 years. Bob Hagan and Tom West are the two best ever, right? Like those are two of my favorite people in the Twin Cities ever. Made it super easy to work with the Minnesota Vikings over the years.
And as much as I just love hearing that they're good people, for me that's music to my ears as a fan, because when I've talked to anyone that's ever won a championship, it's a character, and a whole heck of a lot more character.
Oh, cool.
Duh.
All right. Should we golf bet?
Carly, you want a golf bet when we get back or what?
Bet, yes.
Carly loves to gamble.
I'm ready.
All right, golf bet. British Open after this. Power Trip Morning Show fan.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero, is it in you?